I'm Will Greenwald with PCMag.com, and I just received the Polymega retro game system, so we're going to unbox it. This is a pretty interesting system that I first saw a couple years ago at, I want to say PAX East or possibly GDC, and it basically lets you play almost any retro game. The base station plays optical discs, so it can play PlayStation, TurboGrafx CD, Sega CD, Saturn. Let's check it out. That is the Polymega base unit. It's pretty heavy and pretty big. If I can here's the back of the box. And basically plays compact disc games. Yes, it is a CD drive, not DVD. It's not going to do PS2 or anything, but it can handle apparently PlayStation, Turbo CD, Saturn, Neo Geo CD, and Mega CD, which is the same as Sega CD. Comes with a wireless gamepad, and then you can expand with a bunch of other modules. Lifting off the box. Ooh. Once again, this is a bigger box than I thought it would be. Pretty heavy too, but it feels good. You know, the aesthetics are a little bit retro chic, maybe not necessarily 90s, but the lines, the rainbow and the Polymega, does make me think of older game systems. Here's the optical drive right here. Oops. Little top, and on the back, HDMI, power, Ethernet, and a slot for the SD card. Very intrigued on how this is going to play. So I'll set this to the side. Here we go. This is the gamepad with a little USB dongle. It is a 2.4 gigahertz wireless gamepad, which, that's good. Feels a little bit light, but solid. Very springy, almost DualShock 4-like triggers. I think they're analog. Double analog. I don't know if it has rumble. Hopefully, maybe it supports DualShock, but it does support analog, which is cool. And the additional modules, there are different ones for NES/Famicom games, Sega Genesis games, TurboGrafx 16, and they all come with wired controllers modeled more after their native systems. But this is just a general, all-purpose, dual analog stick gamepad. And the rest in here, I'm assuming, is just the HDMI cable, power brick, power cable, micro USB cable for charging, and just instructions. So I'm going to put this together, and I have a big stack of Saturn and Sega CD games and some PlayStation that I'm going to test with this, and we'll see how it all shapes up. This is the menu system. It's pretty direct. It shows games by the consoles, what ones are installed. I ripped 3 of my own disc-based games on here, but it also comes with a good handful of other games. Mostly TurboGrafx 16, SNES, NES, some interesting ones, but let's dig into the menus first. There are not a whole lot of video settings. You can't really change the output resolution or anything, but there are several different effects. You can have RGB style scanlines, composite scanlines, and a nice thing is you can change how the scanline effect looks. You can adjust the contrast and brightness, and that's a nice effect because otherwise it looks really dim. This is the library. Not the library of the games on the system, but basically how many games the system can detect if you put in different discs and cartridges, and it's a lot. You, of course, need to put the games in yourself, but let's start with Mega Man Legends instead. This is from my own collection. I installed it to the onboard memory, and it lets you choose between New Game and Classic mode. Classic is just you're straight playing a PlayStation. New Game, there are save states and emulation features. And it loads up just fine and looks pretty good in the process. But we're going to skip ahead just for a second. And here we go. Just wanted to get past any of the intro videos and tutorials and just show you some of the action of Mega Man Legends. I tried to get the analog to work. It didn't quite work. I guess it's not supported in this game. You'd never know with the PlayStation 1. But yeah, this plays pretty much like it should.
This is Mega Man Legends, and I can fire, I can shoot, I got all my buttons working. That's pretty much all you need. Now we're going to pause in a sec and switch to Nights on the Saturn. This is Nights into Dreams, the Japanese version on the Sega Saturn, and I honestly don't know how to play Nights, so I just turned on analog for this. The analog stick does work on this one because Nights was one of the few Saturn games that had the optional weird 360 controller, so you can do some neat stuff. Problem is I don't know how to play Nights. You fly through rings, and yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. But it looks good, and that's cool. I mean, it seems to run fine. I'm not getting any glitches or problems, and these are from my disc collections, and you just put them right on the system memory or on a micro SD card. That's pretty cool. Let's take a break from this one and try one last game. There's like a dozen or 2 dozen games pre-installed that are older games, but let's try Nightshade. This is an older game. It's a point-and-click adventure game that was released on the NES, so the controls are interesting, to say the least. Let's see if I can get Nightshade out of this quandary with a bomb and a candle, and I'm tied to a chair. The controls are not what you'd expect. And enough of that.